Okay, let's get into it. We on Richie Bros website. We are going to pull up the recent auctions. I'm going to look in the United States, of course, because that's where I'm at. And basically, what I'm looking for is a recent truck that recently sold for the low. So we got California, Washington, Minnesota. I see Fort Worth, Texas. Let's go there. December 12th, 2023. That was last month. Let's go to tractors. Let's take a look at the prices things sold for. Got some Peterbilts, got some Freightliners that sold. Oh, look, got some 2020s, DD15, 287,000 miles, sold for $75,000. It's for the people that don't want the title. That's what Mr. Charlie gonna do to your truck when you turn the lease in. He gonna collect that 75,000 since you don't want to take the truck to the auction. He'll do it for you. Oh look, 2019s sold for 50,000. Once again, for the people that don't want that title, don't worry, Mr. Charlie will show you what to do with it. He'll go collect the 50,000 on your behalf. Thank you for paying 4 years of payments. Let's keep it moving. We're not looking at nothing new. I'm going to the bottom, baby. I'm looking for that old iron, that '07 and older. '07 and older, baby. Something that everybody can afford. You can work a company job, you know, some old. Ooh, that's a nice 1997 Kenworth. 1999 W900. A lot of Peterbilts. A lot of Peterbilts. '05 went for 60,000. Single turbo cat. Peterbilts always, them old school Peterbilts always sell this high. I got one with a Detroit in it. I'm looking for a Freightliner. Something that sold for the low. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see what we got. Kenworth International. Peterbilt. Was another T600. I was gonna give me a T600, but I didn't end up doing it. Oh look, there's a classic, but it's got a cat engine. Looking for a Detroit engine. Keep scrolling. Oh, there we go. 2004 Freightliner Columbia sold for 12,000. Let's take a look. Okay. Got a 12.7 Detroit, 430 horsepower. Okay. 10-speed manual, 358 rear ends. Seems pretty decent as far as the specs go. Wish it was 13 speed, but we do just fine with 10 speed. Okay, so let's say I was to get this truck. We got a serial number right there. Let's take a look at some photos. See if they got some engine photos or something. Not that it matters. As long as the truck start up, run, the motor can be rebuilt. Don't really like the fenders, but guess it's alright. Bumper is missing. We had to get a bumper from the chrome shop. No biggie. Oh, this stuff don't matter. I don't even care nothing about how many miles is on it. None of that matters to me. 12.7. Okay. It's the original sticker. Okay, making sure it's not a Meteor transmission. It's Eaton Fuller transmission. We don't do the Meteors, or however you pronounce them. But like I said, that bumper can be replaced. No biggie. Fender all jacked up on the side, but that can be replaced too. All these parts are replaceable. Looks pretty decent. I don't know why you got the fifth wheel all the way to the back, but whatever. I think I'd probably pull these fenders out, put a mud flap in the back. Them mud fenders don't look right. I don't like them. Okay, let's say I went with this truck for $12,000. Okay, what would I do first? The reason why I'm doing this video is because One of you guys asked for advice for buying a cash truck and rebuilding it, so I just thought I'd shoot a video on what I would do. So if I went with this truck here, $12,000, go over to ATL Diesel. Now, I'm showing you ATL Diesel because I can't show you, we can't walk in a dealership and get parts, so I'm just showing you ATL Diesel. This is our aftermarket, which, I got aftermarket in my trucks, but, nothing wrong with going with OEM. So we got the truck for $12,000. How much I pay the in-frame and motor is $3,500, and then the block cut for me on this engine is about $1,500. These were the exact prices I paid for my Mercedes, overhaul. And if I had a 12.7, it would cost me the same thing at the same shop. How much you pay in labor, you just gotta find a mechanic, and whatever they charge, they charge. I just know how much it cost me. That ain't how much it cost me for my cat engine. Cat engine was a little bit different situation. That was out in Texas somewhere. But anyways, let's look at all the parts, all the overhaul kits. So I'm gonna go with a basic in-frame kit from PAI. You got the high horsepower kit. I like the high horsepower kit. Wish I had it in my Detroit, but I don't. $3,995 for the kit. If you wanted to do the cylinder heads, that's an additional $3,000. But I just need this basic in-frame kit. Comes with everything I need listed to the left. I'll take it. Now once again, I'm showing you the aftermarket version because I can't show you the OEM version. Okay, you can go in Freightliner and get the OEM parts. They usually gonna run about the same price. If you need a cylinder head, here you go. $2,995. It's gonna be about the same price in Freightliner, or you can just get yours remade, for about $2,000 from a machine shop. Usually the mechanic can handle all that shoe shine, but we're not gonna go with the cylinder heads on this one. Although if you wanted to spend extra money, hey, look, you're already paying for the labor. They gotta take the cylinder heads off to do the in-frame. So if you want to pay for new cylinder heads, go and put it on.
At ATL Diesel, we believe that order associates will call you shortly after under $100. We offer pay over time.
Okay, next, I would get a new oil pump and a new water pump. I'm showing you the aftermarket versions of them. Of course, make sure you go to dealership and actually get the OEM versions. They're gonna be remade. All these parts gonna be remade, but just make sure you get yours from Freightliner. Get your water pump from Freightliner. Get your oil pump from Freightliner. And if you want to get your OEM kit from Freightliner, do that too. All these prices are gonna be pretty close to what they are in store. Always replace the oil pump and the water pump when you do an in-frame. Okay, turbos. I like getting new turbos when I do a in-frame. So this is Momentum Works. Check out the YouTube channel. Okay, on my Detroit, my 12.7 Freightliner Classic 1997, I got the BorgWarner S400 171702. It's an upgraded turbo. That's what I'm running on mine. It came with the truck, but now that you got the high horsepower kit from PAI, hey, you can upgrade. You can go in an even bigger turbo. But would I go that big? Probably not unless you go ahead and slap that cylinder head on. But I just stick with the lightly upgraded. I just go back with the BorgWarner S400 171702. I like that one. That's all the power I need. How much does it cost? $900. I'll take it. $900, brand new turbo, 1 year warranty. Let's go. So I'll take it. This is not the only place that you can buy it from. You can go over to PAI. You can get turbo from Pittsburgh Power. Different places sell different turbos. They are about $900 to $1,200. You can also go inside the dealership. And, well, if you go in the dealership, they're going to sell you a stock turbo, which it's not going to be it's not going to have the upgraded power. It's just going to be stock. But, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, now I'm looking on Detroit website where they tell you they break down the overhaul process. So let's look at my Mercedes. On my Mercedes, the MB400, of course, I got the basic in-frame kit, which restores power, efficiency, and reliability. These are Detroit words, the manufacturer. If you do a basic end frame, this is what the basic end frame is supposed to do. This is what it's supposed to come with. I didn't get none of the EGR stuff because we wasn't worrying about emissions, okay? We were just worrying about the end frame, okay? So step 2, super overhaul. And then you got step 3, a complete overhaul, which makes a high mileage engine run strong and long, okay? Now on step 3, you see turbo and water pump. We included both of those in our build, but step 2 was the cylinder heads. We skipped that, so, same thing on the 12.7 Detroit. Got your basic overhaul kit, which is what we just went with from ATL Diesel. We didn't get none of the EGR crap. We not worried with 12.7. Ain't even got none of that shoe shine on there anyway, so we ain't worried about none of that. This is for, it say EGR because of the 14 liter, but anyways, step 2, if you want to get that cylinder head, rocket armor, all that stuff, you can buy that. We skipped over that. Step 3, we grabbed that turbocharger, that water pump, and that oil pump. We didn't get a pack of injectors. We didn't go with a pack of injectors. Now, when I did my cat engine, I went with a step 3 overhaul. I did everything, okay, but that's different. We just talking about a basic end frame, and of course, you got step 4 where you can just buy a reman engine from them. And reman engine is pretty much step 3. They just paint the motor, and you ain't got to worry about having a mechanic put it together. Okay, let's go to Pittsburgh Power, another place I get parts from. Let's take a look at what they got for Detroit. Looking at their turbos, they also got the performance turbo. It's not the 1702, it's their own version of the turbo. $1,050. Hey, if you want to get it from them, you can get it from them. But this is for a 03 and older, 12.7 DDEC 3, DDEC 4. Let's keep it moving. If you want to go fancy, go ahead and get that exhaust manifold too, with the turbo. Let's see. Let's keep looking. So we got our end frame kit, we got our turbo, we got a water pump, oil pump. We know how much it costs to cut the block, $1,500. How much it's gonna cost you to cut the block? It could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. Just depends on your shop. I'm looking for a clutch because, if you want to go all out, rebuild the motor, go ahead and do a new clutch, new transmission. I'm just showing you the prices. Not the clutch brake. This is clutch brake. I'm looking for the actual clutch, which I don't see. Let's go on PDI. Let's see. Okay, PDI, once again, they sell turbos. This is they Big Boss turbo. They tag on some extra fees on there at the top. But anyways, I'm looking for that PDI 2400 pressure soft pedal clutch, okay? I went with this particular clutch in my cat engines, $1,250. Add that on. You also gotta, if you get this clutch, you gotta get the installation kit too, which is additional $325. You do have to get it. Add that on right there. Label to change out a clutch. $1,200 for me. It could be range all the way up from anywhere between $800 to $1,500. Depending on what shop you go with. With inflation and all that stuff. So, if you do your transmission, they can do the clutch too. It's all right. It's not additional labor. It's not additional labor. Let's see. Add up all these numbers for you. $27,170. That's truck, rebuilding the motor, water pump, turbo. Oh, board gear. We skipped over the board gear. Board gear $1,800 from Freightliner. You gotta get that from Freightliner. That's the front of the engine. If you want to replace the board gear, it's $1,800 last I checked. That's not on ATL Diesel. Let's go on eBay. Let's type in that Eaton Fuller transmission number. Okay, 3,500. That's about how much. That's how much I got my 10-speed for a Freightliner, 3,500. Back when my Mercedes motor, when I blew the transmission in the $15,000 flat top, $3,500 is what I paid at Freightliner, so I'm pretty sure you can still pay $3,500 at Freightliner. It can range anywhere up to $4,500. You know, anytime you buy a transmission from Freightliner, make sure you call at least 10 Freightliners located in 10 different cities because it's gonna be 10 different prices. Go with the one that's close to 3,500. Okay, don't call the one that's 5,500. Don't call the one that's 7,000. Call the one that's as close to 3,500. If they got one that's less than that, go with that. Okay, 3,500 for the transmission. Reman, it's gonna be reman, of course. Usually, if you get it from Freightliner, it's gonna come with a 2-year warranty. That clutch also should come with a 2-year warranty. Okay. In-frame kit should come with a 2-year warranty. So let's add all this on together. That labor probably gonna go from 1,200 to 1,500 since you're doing a transmission. You know. So we're gonna add this all together. Now, if you want real prices, you can take that VIN number, the VIN number that was on the auction website, and you can just call a dealership and get real prices. Give them the VIN number, tell them what you're looking for. I'm looking for an in-frame kit. I'm looking for a transmission. You can get real prices. Okay, and this is the first time I ever showed y'all this. This is who did my Caterpillar rebuild. Show you guys what I paid. Okay, let's take a look. Service history. Okay, let's see. Overhaul, that's what I did. Okay, cool. I gotta put my phone number up there, okay. Random phone calls coming soon. 2022. Okay, this is what all I did, how much I paid. Labor for me, 60 hours. No, 65 hours at 124. Was that 124 hour? Paid about 8,000 something in labor. Then, of course, when you do overhaul, you got a bunch of extra parts and stuff. I wanted to show y'all these extra parts and stuff that you may end up having to get depending on every motor is different, you know. Of course, you know, I would change out the hoses, the coolant hoses, change those out, get brand new coolant hoses. You always gotta get 10 gallons of motor oil, maybe 12 gallons, you know, same thing with the coolant, filters, you know, you're gonna be doing an oil change, you need fresh oil, so all that's going into it, you know. This is all the extra parts. Okay, this is the extra parts. None of these parts right here, if y'all notice, it don't include, you know, my rebuild kit ain't in here. The cylinder heads, the injectors, ain't none of that in here. This is just extra. Everything else I bought separate. Okay, so this is extra. This is labor. I paid like $14,000 with labor and all the extra parts. Okay, now let's take a look at how much my overhaul kit costs. Okay, I went matched out. Okay, so right at the top, $18,000. We got the Elite C15 Acer Elite Platinum. Okay, let's take a look at it. I got the MXS engine. Okay, so I went with the stage 2 cylinder heads. I went with OEM reman injectors from Caterpillar. I got mine from Caterpillar. I went with everything except that camshaft at the bottom. I kept my camshaft. I didn't replace it. So everything else I got. So we're looking at $18,695. But we need to subtract out that camshaft. So let me go figure out how much a camshaft costs. We're going to add all that for you. So we got $18,695. And we're going to add up to $14,000 that I had already paid. This does not include a spacer plate. And what all else come with the freaking Caterpillar? I had to get a spacer plate for it, and I can't remember what else. Okay, camshaft. That's crankshaft. We're looking for camshaft. Camshaft usually around about 800. Let's see, they got it for 650 on here. Usually around about 800. But we're gonna subtract 650 out of that price. So minus 650. So I paid about $32,000 to rebuild my Caterpillar motor. That don't include turbos. Okay, so that's the difference between rebuilding the Cat engine versus. Okay, there we go. So that $32,000, that's just engine only. Okay, as you just saw, for $32,000, we just got a truck, rebuilt the motor over Detroit, and got a transmission and a clutch for $32,000. So as you can see, a Cat motor is way more expensive than a Detroit, although I did pay way more in labor. I paid like $14,000 which that's because I got my work done out in Texas at, another shop I had no connections at. If I would have got it done in Memphis or my secret shop, it would have been way, way cheaper. But everybody ain't got those connections. I didn't have a connection in Texas and San Antonio, but you know. Anyways, more of the story is you do what works best for you. This is just just something to think about. This is just me showing you what you could possibly do. I'm not telling nobody to go out there and buy no cash truck. Once again, as y'all can see, I done spent a lot of money, and a lot of truck drivers that that came across, they never came up with no plan in trucking on how to save $12,000, let alone 30. I'm just being honest with you. That is a hard feat to do, saving money.